Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. We are streaming now. Mic is up. Sound is up. And we will set our timer for and do our daily paint. Okay, minimize this. And let's get started. Pressure sensitivity is down, so it's leaving. So, just blocking in the big colors. Still trying to keep in mind the overall shape. Big colors. Just using a big brush. Blocking out what I believe the colors are. Getting a general map, general layout. These work will change as the painting progresses. As things move forward. And then I will refine them even more. It's a big jumble of stuff. Alright, let's start to get in here a little better. I'm doing the squint test. Squinting as I move around the piece. Like I said, I'm just putting down general shapes. General sketch. It's like I'm sketching, but I'm sketching with big blocks of color as well. And then the more I do it, the more I realize that, okay, this needs to change, but it's so hard to start with a blank piece of canvas and know what your moves should be, what your next steps should be. So I just try to cover as much as I can. It's also why I try not to start with a white canvas. I always start with the background. I always start with the background first. Even if it's just, as long as it's not white, like it's just something psychological about this big empty white expanse that makes it hard to start. So something that I do, it's just a tip, my personal process. And like I said, I'm just laying down general shape, colors. Later they will be refined, but just a layout, just a roadmap of where I believe things are going to be in the future. I don't know if they're going to be there for sure, but I'm just, and then this way I can see, like, okay, I use this color here, that color is too bright, that color is too dark, just to get a rough estimate of what's going on in the piece. Yeah, rough estimates. Rough sketch. Yeah, and as the painting progresses, it'll just continue to become more and more detailed as the painting goes on. Just making sure that I'm getting my proportions correct, putting things where they need to be, where they actually are. I'm using the edge of the frame to really visualize, make sure that things are going where they're supposed to be. Blocking the big shapes. So I'm trying to focus. So I'm trying to match the top of her head here. So I'm looking at my reference and I'm looking at the distance between the top here and then like the top there, and so I'm trying to match that. The same thing with the edge here. I'm looking at the distance from the edge here to the edge there, and then the same thing with the front of her face. I'm looking at the distance from her forehead to here. So these are all of like just some landmarks that I'm using to establish the figure. And this is really drawing more so than painting, like getting things where they're supposed to be. That's just the process of drawing. But I do both at the same time. I draw and paint at the same time. I draw while painting, whatever that means. And I'm just, like I said, just general landmarks. So I see this is a dark area up here. I don't know if that's the exact positioning of that part of her face, but it's a rough estimate. It's a ballpark. And you know, as the painting progresses, I will continue to refine it more and more, so that things are more where they're supposed to be. Yeah. And then I'll start from the top and kind of work my way down. It's kind of like how I do it. It's the same thing when I'm working on like a full figure. So I'll start with the top of the figure, like say it was her arms and her shoulders and her waist and her torso, all the way down to her legs. I would make sure I got the top part right, and then I would start there and work my way down. But also like while keeping in mind the proportions in general. But they say, I don't know how true this is, but they say it's not, if, so for instance, what am I trying to say? So if the proportion and the placement of the eyes are correct, it's okay, or it's not as noticeable if you mess up the distance of the nose and the mouth and the chin. I mean, it'll still look like it's not right, but it won't be as noticeable. Like you can kind of get away with. There's a little bit more flexibility in getting those areas not correct. So they say. I don't know. That's what they say. I was watching a YouTube instructor, art teacher, say that before, and it made sense when he said it. I don't know how true it is, but whatevs. Okay, let's get here. Just trying to get this area right. So I'm gonna take time and make sure that I get this head, the placement of this headdress, because that is gonna dictate, you know, the other parts of her body. Get these shadow shapes correct. I'm just gonna put this here for now. She has like an earring. I don't know if that's the correct placement, but I just dropped it there just so I have something to look at and be like, okay, that's not the right placement, or it is the right placement. Um, that's just my style of painting. She got like a velvet headrest, terciopelo, which means velvet. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Alright, so I got general the general shape of the figure. Alright, let's save this. Let's save that, and now I'm really gonna go in and start moving things around and making sure that they have the correct placement, like her hairline. Really gonna focus in on the hairline and other parts of the figure, making sure that I'm placing the components, the pieces of the figure correctly, so that it can look more like the reference. Yeah, and that's just a matter of really going in and refining it, some trial and error. Just got a little swoop thing happening, the little baby hair swoop. Okay, so I'm gonna dial in, really focus on her brow ridge and really try to get that solid before I move on. Because once you get that part of her face solid, um, you can rely on that part of her face to really help you draw the rest of the face. Also, the brow ridge is a good place to get the tilt and the angle correct. So since the brows are so prominent, such a big block of tone, you can really use it as a measuring point for the rest of the face, because it's like the brow ridge creates this like T, like a T kind of area, and depending if you visualize like a T, you know, the T changes based on, you know, the angle of the head. So for now she has like a T, like this is more like that. I hope that made sense. Probably didn't, but you get what I'm saying eventually. Okay. So yeah, I'm just like totally disregarding the lower half. I really want to get in there and start working on the lower half of her face, but I know that I have to get this this brow ridge area solid and concrete. So that's what I'm gonna work on. Oh, did I set my timer? Damn, I didn't set my timer. Okay, setting my timer now. I've been painting for 14 minutes, so I'm gonna set my timer for 11 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes. No, let's do 11 minutes. Let's do 12 minutes. Okay. So I've been painting for about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. I forgot what I said. I forgot how long I said I was painting. I always forget to set my timer. I guess I'm trying to illustrate that you can get a lot of work done in in just 25 minutes. And the cool thing is, like, this is just a portrait, so I should be able to get pretty far in this particular portrait. Because I don't have to do, like, the arms and the, it's just less work to do. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom in and really try to lock this down, try to lock these shapes down. Okay, gotta wait till my pressure sensitivity comes back. Whenever I click away from my computer, the pressure sensitivity goes out. It's super annoying. Maybe there's something wrong with my tablet. Maybe it's not so much the Photoshop, but it's my tablet. I have a refurbished tablet. Let's try to keep going. That's what I got. It'll kick back in eventually. Try my best to. Come on, tablet. I just really don't want to turn back on. It's okay, we'll make the best of it. Make the most of it. This comes up like this. That. Woof. There's no blending. Wow, it's still gone. That is odd. Sometimes it comes back right away and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, there it goes. Jeez Louise. Man, okay. We're back in business. That was rough. It's just, I don't know. There's like no way to tell like how long it's gonna take. Sometimes it just will cut off and just does not want to come back. For some reason it just doesn't, it's like it's shy or something. It's like doesn't like to come out when you ask it to. Let's get a little orange, some more orange in the face. Got a lot of red there, because she has a lot of red in her skin. She has a lot of reds, a lot of oranges. So, still keeping everything super loose. I don't want to get too crazy. Tones. I'm not even gonna go in and get any details with her eyes just yet. I'm just still trying to make my way around the figure. I gotta get the angle of her nose correct. Okay. All right, so something's happening here. I have to figure out what it is. Something's looking off, and I don't know what it is just yet, but I will figure it out. Make it all this dark again. Okay, I just realized I have somebody in the live stream. Hey, um, um, my voice is low because I'm not saying much. I actually am ordering a mic soon so that I could have a better have better audio. But thanks for joining in. And let me see. I usually do these live streams like really early in the morning, like 5 or sometimes 4:30 a.m. because that's when I'm up and that's when I have some free time. Um, so today I got off to a late start, and I guess I should do live streams so people could actually watch them. But you know, I just gotta paint when I have the time to paint now. So I'm never gonna paint. But thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. I can't wait till I get this mic, and I think I'm also gonna get a mic, but I'm also going to get a video camera, like a webcam. So when I do want to do live oil painting. So once I get the gear I need for that, then I will set up um, and do live oil painting. So I'm super excited about that. So hopefully, you know, I know the mail's been a little iffy because of the holiday season. So hopefully, we can get all that situated sooner than later. But we'll just keep going here. It's cool to know people are looking out for the videos and like tuning in. So that's what I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys. Also, like I apologize. I don't have a dual multiple screen setup, so I have to. I'm doing this on my laptop, which is not that much real estate. So what I mean to say is I can't really see the comments while I'm painting. I have to periodically check back and forth between my painting and the YouTube console. So it would be cool if there might be an option for that if YouTube had a way to like ping you, like to make some kind of sound or notification if a comment is made. But I don't know. I don't know if that option is available. But if it is, I'll figure out how to use it, and then that might make it a little bit easier for me to comment back and have a dialogue with the people. But yeah, if I comment and I don't say nothing, just bear with me. I really appreciate the feedback, the comments, you guys attending and watching. It means a lot. It means a lot. It makes me feel like I'm not like out here doing this in vain. It's like when you first start a YouTube channel, you're literally talking to yourself as if there are people in the chat and trying to hold conversation. I mean, eventually, I know, like, just pure numbers, consistency. There will be more people watching the live stream concurrently, but I'm not there yet. Gotta work on it. I read somewhere that you need to have at least 35 to like 40 videos before YouTube, the algorithms start like even recognizing you as a channel and sending people to your channel. So that is my current goal, and I'm just trying not to get too discouraged on my way. Like I have a short term. That's like my short term goal to long term success. Short and measurable, and I figure if I continue to do these live streams like once a day I'll have my 35 videos in a little over a month. So that's the game plan. Um, and it's not so big of a deal because I'm supposed to be painting and drawing and getting my skills up anyway. So I always say, if I'm gonna paint anyway, I might as well just turn on the camera so people could see me, could join in on the process because I'm supposed to be practicing anyway. So that's the game plan. Let me see. Maybe I'm gonna lose my. Maybe if I maximize the screen, I could just like quickly switch over. Quickly switch over to. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little better. Did I lose my pressure sensitivity? No, we're still going. Yeah, it's just so weird. Like sometimes the pressure sensitivity just goes out and it doesn't come back, and sometimes it's fine. I really don't know what's going on. But it's definitely coming along. The painting is moving along slowly but surely. I got off kind of to a rough start. I was something was going on with my proportions, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better. I think what happened was I was a little bit too close. Sometimes I move in too close and I get too caught up in the details, and I'm not really focusing on drawing what's actually there. I'm drawing too many details, and it's not really helping the situation. So sometimes I just got to take a step back and really look at what I'm doing and focus. Biggest thing, trying to make sure I focus. Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a step back. Sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes you got to move away from what you're doing and then come back to it later. It makes a big difference. A lot of the times it makes a difference. Yeah, it's like if the painting's not working and can't figure out what's wrong with it, sometimes you've just been looking at it for too long. And your brain just starts to register. Our brain tries to be efficient to our detriment sometimes, and it starts to file things away and lock things away, and you really can't see what is actually going on. And so our brain's just like, oh, this looks similar to what I already saw, so I don't need to like register any new information. Which is good for like life things, but for drawing, when you need to like really be able to see the differences, sometimes it's a little tough. It's like our brains are trying to help us out in the real world, but for artistic purposes, it's not helpful. And in order to get away from that, you just step away from the computer so you could do a reset. Like just look away for a minute or two. Take a step back. Take a step back. So I could probably spend a good amount of time on her upper clavicle area. Um, it's a lot of very, very subtle tones uh, that it would take a while to render out. So, for the sake of time, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Um, I'll just leave it a little bit more vague than I would usually leave it. I guess that's not the main focus of the image, but yeah, you can spend a lot of time really just rendering out the different tones, very subtle, very subtle tones. Take a while. Man, my one viewer that came in and said, "What's up?" I missed them. I wish I would have saw their message. It'd been cool. Talk to them. See what their thoughts were. Next time. Catch them next time. Man, this painting is like mad soothing, mad therapeutic. Not that I'm stressed. I'm not stressed. I'm blessed, as they say. Or is it too blessed to be stressed? I don't know. Things are good. Got my health. All things considered. And I don't know. Back in the day, not back in the day, but back before COVID, people were, "Oh yeah, I got my health," and I don't know. It was not that it was cliche or especially if you're a young person, like, "Oh, I got my health. Everything's good." Like now, like unless you have like some kind of genetic situation going on, like a genetic disease, like your health is like actually in jeopardy now, like out here. Like before, you could be like, "Oh, I got my health," and it was fine, but now you might not actually have your health if you're not careful, if you're being reckless, or even if you're not being reckless. Sometimes you could be doing everything the right way and you still get sick. I got my flu shot for the first time ever the other day. I wouldn't call myself an anti-vaxxer, but it just never really occurred to me to go get my flu shot. But now I got it because I want to be able to know the difference between COVID and the flu if I was to get sick. So if I get sick, it's either COVID or it's a common cold, because there's no vaccine for the common cold. But at least I could rule out one potential thing, and that one potential thing is the flu. And so that's my thought process and reasoning behind getting a flu shot, so that in the event that I get sick, hopefully I don't, and I don't believe I will, because I've been trying my best to be cautious and be safe. In the event that I get sick, I can rule out the flu. And besides that, the flu sucks. Like, it's not fun. And if I don't have to get the flu this year, like, why not? Why not just not get the flu this year? Yeah. And so for most of my career, I've been a freelance artist. And so I don't really have to interact with people that much. So I usually, not all the time, but I usually miss out on the flu. I usually don't get the flu from people because I'm always in my studio by myself. And in the winter time, because it's cold, I just tend to stay in the house anyway. So I don't really have to interact with people. I know some people have to go to work. They got to, go to their daily, 9 to 5 or whatever. And so they have to interact and deal with people who, refuse to stay home when they're sick, or they don't know they're sick. And it's so easy to catch it. Like, people who have kids and they go to school and, they're there with a bunch of other dirty kids. Like, It just happens. It just happens. Um, so, um, so yeah, man. In the past, I typically did not have to deal with it, but you know, um, I started. I changed my living situation, and now uh, my living partner is she goes to work every day, or she did before COVID, and so I I am now more susceptible to catching the flu because she has to go to work, and and she could potentially bring back the flu to me. So that's another reason why, for the first time in my life, I got a flu shot. It's not the worst thing. It's a little annoying. Like you get the shot, and the first. So when I went to like my local CVS. So because it was my first flu shot, like I had to stay another 10 to 15 minutes there to make sure I didn't have an allergic reaction, so that I guess the pharmacist could treat me. I don't know if the pharmacist would have been able to treat me if I did indeed have an allergic reaction, but maybe she could have called the ambulance and they could have came and helped me out. But I thought that was interesting that, being since I was the first timer, that was a precaution that, I needed to deal with. And I couldn't imagine like somebody being afraid to get the flu shot and then like going in and they're like, oh, by the way, you need to stay here just in case you die. Just in case you have an allergic reaction and we don't want you to die. Like that would freak me out. If I wasn't comfortable with the flu, like getting the vaccine, I can only imagine how some people feel. Especially if they're first timers and they haven't taken the flu shot because they're actually afraid of what could happen if they take the flu shot, if they get the flu shot. So yeah, must be kind of creepy for people. Okay, we're making our way around this portrait. A lot of times, or in the past, I haven't really been adding the pupils, but I think it's for this particular piece, pupils are necessary. I think they're necessary. So let's zoom out. All right. It is okay. It's not my best. I think all this is a little too light. Let's make this a little darker. And then really focus on those highlights. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I gotta work on this, like her lower jaw area. I gotta really get that situated and squared away. I think I made her nose a little bit too prominent. Let's bring it down some. Let's bring it in some. This particular model, she has a very strong nose, but I think I made it a little bit too intense. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna zoom in on my reference and then zoom in on my and then see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's see. Also, it's cool. She has a lot of red, a lot of orange, like coppery tones in her nose, which is really cool. So we're really gonna want to try to bring those out. It's there, it's there. Bring that over some. I'm doing this process. I need to make sure that I'm zooming out regularly so I'm not getting lost. Make sure I'm not getting lost in my painting. Sometimes you get lost in the world that you're in and you're not really able to see or notice or recognize what's going on in other parts of it. So I don't want to get lost. Don't get lost in your painting. Don't get lost. Try to keep your bearings. Try your best not to get lost in the painting. And that means that her lip comes up a little bit more like that. That means that the bottom part is actually like that. And yeah, that's better. I didn't zoom out yet, but I could already tell that this is closer to what's actually happening. But let's continue. Let's get it just right. Just right. So her lip, she has this dark area shadow from her nose here, brightness up there, and then her lip is like, it's right there somewhere. I'm just guesstimating, I don't know. I'll zoom out in a little bit and like really figure out where things are in a second. I don't know. And this is like more like that. All right, let's zoom out. Woof. Okay, it's getting there. My tones are off. It's just way too bright. All right. So I can notice things like this is too far like that. It's actually down like that some more. Let's see, anybody tune in? Nope. Let's keep going. focus is a little off. Okay. Keep going. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's zoom out. Bold strokes, bold strokes. Oh, time's up. I think I'm done with this anyway, because spent some time on it already. Like this. take some people think the eyes have too much detail. We don't need so much detail. I'm gonna keep it nice and loose. Nice and loose. Loose beard, loose beard. There we go. Yeah. This is coming along nicely, nicely, nicely. Alright, I think I'm done. This is as good as it's gonna get because I have already exceeded my allotted paint time. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I got the gist. You know, it's a little paint practice. It's not a paint perfect. Just push myself and challenge myself to paint every day. And I accomplished that goal. I painted today because I said I would. And that's all that matters. Trying to reset 35 paintings. Those 35 paintings. That is the goal. And we will get there. Alright, I'm cool. I think I'm done with this. Wait, not yet. Wait. Need a little bit more here. Exceed my paint time. Alright, I'm really done this time. Oh man, I made that a little too crazy looking. Gotta blend it. Alright, that's good enough. See you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.